Greetings everyone, and thank you for joining us for this week's edition of GTV. I'm Don Valiant, and this is the news from Gyeonggi Province this week. On February 10th, Gyeonggi Province Governor Lee Jae-myung, Gyeonggi-do Medical Association President Lee Dong-wook, Gyeonggi-do Hospital Association President Jung Yeon-jin, and Gyeonggi-do Nurses Association President Jun Hwa-yeon signed an agreement for cooperation on the medical administration of public COVID-19 vaccinations. After signing the agreement, Governor Lee stated that Gyeonggi Province is preparing for public vaccinations through the formation of a devoted task force. He then asked the participants to cooperate in field work for the successful implementation of vaccination plans. Gyeonggi Province recently dispensed with the designated weekday system for online disaster basic income applications. Any Gyeonggi resident can now apply for the disaster basic income payment on any weekday regardless of birth year. Those who prefer to apply in person may do so from March 1st. Alternatively, they can apply via the home visiting service. Gyeonggi Province is taking the lead in reducing disposable moist tissue consumption by reducing usage at public organizations, as well as by proposing that the central government include moist tissues in its list of usage-regulated disposable items. This initiative stems from the fact that most such tissues are made from polyester, a material that takes more than a century to completely decompose. Ark clams, a popular winter delicacy in Korea, are produced primarily along southern coasts. However, these small tidal flat mollusks are flourishing on Gyeonggi coasts. This phenomenon, unimaginable only 5 years ago, has been brought about by marine ecological changes. Since the development of a trial ark clam farm on the coast of Gyeonggi in 2015, the number of farms along provincial coasts has increased to 10. Production also soared from 4 tons in the first year to 192 tons in 2019 and 428 tons in 2020, marking a more than 100-fold increase in just 5 years. Ark clam farming has now become a new income source for a number of Gyeonggi fishing villages. Gyeonggi Province has begun the second round of disaster basic income payments, which are geared to alleviate the economic fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic. This helps backstreet businesses since the disaster basic income payment can only be used at businesses that accept Gyeonggi local currency, namely those with annual sales of less than 1 billion Korean won. During the first week of the application period ending on February 7th, approximately 7,550,000 residents submitted applications, accounting for well over half of the provincial population. Online applications will be accepted until 11 a.m. on March 14th. Those who are unable to apply online or in person can make use of the home visiting service. Gyeonggi Province announced plans to provide older, small-scale apartments with housing repair support so as to reduce resident inconvenience. This includes apartments that were constructed more than 15 years ago and no longer subject to mandatory management, as well as those comprised of less than 30 units. The province has earmarked approximately 5.3 billion Korean won for this year's housing repair support, representing a 700 million Korean won increase over last year. Those who wish to apply for provincial housing repair support can do so at local public offices. The province will select qualifying apartments during the months of March and April. On February 9th, a pan-national solidarity organization seeking to reopen the Gaesung Industrial Complex in North Korea was launched. This organization is comprised of a broad spectrum of participants, including civil organizations, academia, religious societies, and political circles. During the launching ceremony, a resolution urging the declaration of the reopening of the complex was adopted. The organization will work to secure pan-national support for its cause through various endeavors, including signature gathering and specialist forums. Gyeonggi Province will provide active support for the organization's activities. Thank you for joining us for this week's edition of GTV. We look forward to seeing you again next week.